My name is Rachel Duchamp, and I direct one of the centers in the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise here at Lindenwood University. Part of the mission of our institute is to investigate the essential foundational dimensions of the U.S. Constitution. And as I'm sure you are all aware, there is a battle of ideas being waged just now about the meaning of one of our most cherished constitutional rights, the right to free speech. Last year, the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise co-hosted an event with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force on free speech. Our speaker, who was from FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Education, centered his comments on the importance of the defense of free speech for the success of LGBT advocacy. And we also had the local president of the ACLU at that event as a commenter. We had a fascinating discussion about the recent events at Mizzou from a legal perspective. Everything about the event was a smashing success as far as I was concerned, except for one thing. There were only 40 people in attendance. As a philosophy professor, which I am, I understand perfectly that talking about an abstract concept, one that is several steps removed from people's lived experience, can feel very dry and uncompelling. So this year we're trying a different tack. We want to just have some free speech, right? Just host some free speech rather than talk about free speech. Now let me be 100% clear. This is a private university. We are not subject to First Amendment restrictions on interference with speech. If Lindenwood University wanted to ban Huck Finn from campus, that would be within our rights to do. But Lindenwood has instead chosen to maintain fairly robust statements about the academic freedom of both students and faculty. It includes in its mission statement a dedication to the primacy of truth. In that spirit, we hope that tonight's event, addressing the sensitive topic of gender norms, will stand as an example of the intellectual life of the Academy in the great tradition of the liberal arts. We've chosen for our speakers scholars who we believe are at least entirely sincere in their views. They are not mere provocateurs. We hope that students and community members alike will be encouraged that while one may condemn a particular perspective as wrong or even immoral, there is real value in confronting it. As John Stuart Mill so famously argued, even the most idiotic position is worth listening to if it helps us remember and refine our reasons for disagreeing with it. The Hammond Institute is thrilled to partner with the Gender Studies program to present these two divergent views concerning our notions of gender. May we all be challenged and may we all grow in understanding, moving ever nearer to the truth of things. I'd like to introduce Heather Brown Hudson, the head of the Gender Studies program, to just say a few words about that program.
Hi, everybody. Wait, I can't see you. Wait. Hi. So, just a few words about the program. And I see so many familiar faces, I'm gonna die right now. And hi and welcome and thank you so much for coming. This room is filled to the brim and we can fit a few more. So if anyone's outside, don't stay outside. So about 5 years ago, I realized with my deployment in French and in English, with my certificate for my PhD program in gender studies or women's studies, I just realized that there seemed to be something sort of lacking in the university and browsed through the offerings and I realized that we were sort of 3/4 of the way there. The offerings were actually there to make a gender studies program. One of our beloved history professors, Dr. Chris Smith, I don't know if she's here right now, but she's the one who initially told me that we need a gender studies program, but maybe I could help kind of move that along. And I, as a junior faculty, grabbed that baton and ran real far. And the university was wonderfully receptive. So about 5 years ago, we began with a gender studies minor. We had very few people initially. My recruiting efforts were great, and the program has grown and grown and grown. And I think now we're one of the larger minors in the university. So I'm super proud about that. I also wanted to say that from the very beginning of my teaching of the introduction of gender studies, I have used the textbook, A Gendered Society from Dr. Michael Kimmel, and I sort of jokingly for very many years have said that there's, at some point, I will get him here. He'll come. We'll get him to campus. Come hell or high water with our budget of $0. So, look, this would not have been possible without the sponsorship and without the cooperation and the graciousness of the Hammond Institute and of my very good friend Rachel Duchamp and Howard Wall and Carol. So I just really want to thank them super publicly. I thank them all privately, but I'm so honored and so excited to be partnering with them in this event. Clearly, the partnership is a good idea. So I'm just eternally grateful to you all. He was recently called the world's most prominent male feminist in The Guardian. I call him amazing, and I call him very, very welcome to Lindenwood University and to the Midwest. So thank you so much, Dr. Kimmel, for being with us tonight. And sign up for Gender Studies. It's an awesome minor, 18 credits, flyers outside, talk to me.
Shameless promotion. Okay, so our first speaker up tonight will be Christina Hoff Sommers. Dr. Sommers is a fellow at a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, and she is actually a philosophy professor herself as well, or was for 20 years, from Brandeis. And you went to NYU as well, right?
Yes, and I taught at Clark University.
And taught at Clark for 18, 19 years. She wrote the book, The War on Boyz, and she has 150,000 Twitter followers. Is it C.H. Sommers?
Yes.
C.H. Sommers, if you want to follow her on Twitter. She's quite a phenomenon. You can find her on YouTube as The Factual Feminist. And so I'm very happy to welcome her to the stage. Christina?